Hey, my dear friends, 50 years ago,
Catch. Let's ask you on. Ladies and gentlemen, Royle.
50 years ago, this show launched my career. 50 years ago, Ben Harris, a magician from Australia, tried to debunk me. 50 years later, he writes this amazing book. Bend it like Geller. This is a tribute to all of you mentalists and magicians. I love you all. Thanks for creating my career. Mwah.
It's going to be very, very gentle.
So here we have got a brass key and a chrome key. If you were here with me in person, I'd ask you which of these keys you would prefer to use. As you're not, sadly, and we can't communicate through the screen, I'm going to decide that I prefer to use the brass key, and therefore I'm going to take away the chrome key. As you can see there, hopefully I'm taking that one away. Get rid of that, keeping the other hand in full view. And I'd like you to concentrate on the screen and think of the colour orange, which is the colour of the sun, and also it's the combined power of the colours red and yellow. And transmit that heat, that energy towards this hand right now, and just think, bend, bend, bend. And if you use your powers of mind, as I'm sure you have, you'll notice that, look at that. Wow. The coin, or rather in this case, the key, has bent. So we have a spoon and a fork. If you were here, once again, I would let you choose which you want. But you know what? I think I'm probably going to, I'll start with the fork. I'll leave the spoon down here on the laptop. And that leaves me with the fork here. And the thing with the fork is, we're just going to rub it gently. You can see I need you again to concentrate, if you would, that colour orange. It's like the sun, and it's a mixture of red and yellow. I'm just going to stand up so that you can see that we're literally just going to hold this here, and If I just turn that there, you see that give that a little rub and really concentrate that energy now. Think heat, 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 heat. And what we do is we just hopefully, in fact, you know, if I put this on my hand like that, I wonder if this will work. We'll try, but just concentrate that energy now and think heat, heat, heat. Oh, and it's starting to happen. You can see it's starting to bend more. And I'm not even actually touching that fork. In fact, if we turn it sideways, you can see it is actually really bending up more. That's really weird. If you look at that, it's bending more and more and more. The power of your mind is helping to melt that fork through the screen in the most extraordinary manner. In fact, let's take it, hold it about here. I want you to just concentrate and think, melt, melt. And as you do, look, it just starts to, and it just bends more and more. Oh yeah, look at that. That's madness. Completely. Solid fork that's just bent ridiculously. In fact, you know what? Think bend. I'm just going to give this a good old shake like that. And as we do, watch. It starts to melt and bend. Oh, it's happening there. It's happening there. The time's bending away. More and more. How bizarre. Tell you what, while we're on a roll, keep that energy focused towards the screen. Have it beaming in right now. And as you do, we're going to take the spoon and we'll start to rub it. And concentrate more. And sometimes, only sometimes, but sometimes it starts to, oh, that's it. It's starting to happen. It is starting to happen. You can see it's starting to happen there. It's starting to bend more. And it's almost as though it's starting to get plasticky. Look at that. It's as though it's just starting to melt and bend. Melt and bend. And here's the really weird, whoa, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. It's starting to get hotter, hotter, and look at that. The power of your mind. Hey there, it's me again, Jonathan Royle of magicalguru.co.uk, and I want to try a little experiment using this glass specimen jar, which if we open it, you can see that things can go in, and once they're in, obviously because it's solid, you can't interfere with them. That's the key, and that's very important because we're just going to take this, you can see that, paper clip, and we're going to place it into the, I'm trying to make sure that everything remains on screen at all times here, jar, close it, as so that you can see, hopefully, quite clearly, that we have there the paper clip. Impossible for me to get to it, and what I would like you to do on the count of 3, okay, everyone, keep this in full view, is I want you to go, now! Bend at the screen. 1, 2, 3. Now! Bend. No. Okay. With me this time, okay? With me. 3. On the count of 1. We'll do it backwards. 3 down to 1. Think of the colour orange, which is the sun shining down bright, mixture of red and yellow, and say bend on the count of 1. So it's 3, 2, 1. Bend! Bend! Bend. I don't know if you can... Whoa. Whoa. It's... Yep, it's happened. Can I get that in closer to the camera so you can see before we even open it? It's bent. Well done. Look at that. Somehow, yeah, excellent. You managed it. It's bent. And it just carries on bending. That's the thing. It carries on bending, which is madness. Well, it's bending more and more, and you can see it. It's actually, if you look closely, you can actually see it's continuing to bend. The power of your minds. Hey there, in a previous experiment, we started off with a nail. We have here some, as you can see, very strong masonry screws, a number of them. If you were here, I could just toss this to you, kind of thing, very carefully so that you didn't stab yourself, but I could just hand you these and say, please take one of the screws. Sadly, I can't do that because you can't reach through the screen. So we're going to pick one, and I think I'll go with that one because it's sticking, in fact, yeah, this one because it's sticking out, but we do find that they're stuck together very tightly. So I may have to blimey. Let's see if we can get one of these out. There we go. Let's get this on here. Let it come out. Trying to work it free from the elastic bands. It's coming out a bit there. Blimey. I banded these together well. Right. There we go. You can see it's coming out now a bit more. See if we can get it out, that final bit. Blimey. I think it's the screws that are rubbing on each other as well. There we go. Dislodged it a bit there. Let's get it a bit more. I get it. Because of the threads on the screws, unlike the nails that came out relatively easy, the elastic band is catching every so often. Got it out a bit. That's we're getting there. Maybe I shouldn't have banded these together, but it's just a good way of carrying them around from one performance to another. If you were here, you could have took them apart. I would have done that, but hey-oh. Right, hang on. There we go. Nearly. Very nearly. You can see there, very nearly got it out now. Okay, there we go. One freely chosen screw. If you were here, you could have easily chosen that. And as you can see, it's lovely and straight and solid. If somewhat awkward in its threads there catching on the elastic bands, which is somewhat unfortunate. But as you can see, absolutely nothing in this hand. And all we have, let's get rid of them, is the screws that we don't need. Well, I'm really going to need you to concentrate, really concentrate. That colour of orange, as we always say, because it's a mixture of red and yellow, like the sun's rays towards the screen as I start to rub this and think heat, mount, and hopefully, if we get closer, it's starting to happen, I think, just a little bit. Let's try this just a little bit more. Let's give it a rub there. Oh yes, yeah. It's going. It's starting. It's bending. Look, concentrate. Keep thinking of that colour orange, but it is. It's bending more and more and more. If I get that in really close, can you see that? Yeah, that is actually now bent quite a significant amount. I think it's time to move on to other things. Check the other videos for coins, paper clips, spoons, forks, and keys. But for now, as you can see, that, in fact, it's still bending a bit more now. The power of your
Yeah, brilliant. Excellent. Your 50 pence. Thank you very much indeed. We're just going to, hang on, I need also a marker, if I can just give you that. And if you could just perhaps put some initials or something there.
Okay.
Just something so that you recognise it. And I'll just put, to make it totally unique. You'd recognise that again, yeah?
Okay.
Excellent, yeah, brilliant. In which case, we just close that. Are you right or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Right-handed, excellent. I'd just like you to close your hand around that, and as you do, as you squeeze it and put your arm out, close your eyes tightly. I'd like you to imagine, in a way that feels right for you, that it's almost as if you can start to feel an energy and a force coming from your head, your imagination, down to your shoulders, to your elbows, to your wrists. And as it does, in turn, it kind of makes your arm like a stiff iron bar. And the more you make that fist, the more every nerve fibre, tissue and muscle from your shoulders to your elbows, to your wrist, becomes stuck, fast, tight, locked, glued, welded, cemented like an iron bar, and it gets stronger and stronger. Ooh, not quite there yet. Stronger and stronger. Imagine it getting stronger now like there's a stiff iron bar. Oh, that's much better. Getting stronger and stronger. Brilliant. And now continue using those same powers of intelligence, imagination and concentration effectively, and imagine a warmth or an energy moving from your mind like the sun's rays down your arm and into your hand. And when you know you can kind of imagine that in a way that feels right for you, just let us know that you've got that going on for you. Excellent. And you can just allow that to get warmer and warmer, almost hot. When you feel that it's kind of getting to that point that it's really, really supercharged with warmth, when and only when you feel that in a few moments' time, when you know it's ready for you, you've done it right, then you can just open your eyes and let us know that. And probably also open your hand so that the heat escapes and you don't burn yourself or anything like that. So can we just take that? Is that your signature, yeah? Definitely, yeah? I don't know if people can see, but somehow he's managed to transfer that energy there. That's bizarre. Look at that. Give him a huge round of applause. Thank you very much. I'll give you about your 50p in a minute. This...
I'm going to attempt to do this as clinically, transparently, as it were, fingertips as possible. If you were actually here, I would, of course, give you a choice. I'd just be able to hand you these nails or toss them to you, whatever. They're all elasticated together, and ask you to pick one. But if you're not, I can't do that. So we're just going to pick one. We'll say they are really tightly bound in here. Let's try and... Crikey. The elastic band on here is really, really... there we go. Let's go with this one. Okay? So, I just want you to see that there is really only one nail coming out, which you could have picked if you were here. That's the key, but here we go. And I want you to see quite clearly, I'm going to have to try and bring that in, that is a very solid, can't be bent by hand, well, certainly not by me anyway, nail. Yeah? Just one. You could have picked if you were here, you could have had a choice, but as it is, this is the one. Now, it's very important that you remember that the hands are empty except for the one nail that was chosen. Needless to say that as for the rest of the nails, they not necessary, so we'll just ditch them and concentrate on this one singular nail. Again, as always, think of the colour orange. It's a mixture of red and yellow, and it's like heat, like the sun, going down onto that nail. And if you concentrate, hopefully, it may actually start to look as though, oh yeah, concentrate, it starts to get that in real close. It's starting to almost, yeah, I can see it now. It's starting to bend a little bit, and we rub, concentrate more and more, and go there. That should actually continue bending more and more and more. Oh yeah, this is really, really, really. Oh, it's happening now. Look at that. Look at that. It's bending more and more and more as you concentrate on the screen. And yeah, there we have it. The power of your mind. Now, together, it's mega powerful. And yeah, that's what I'd like you to do. Just think of that and focus the screen. Because what I'm going to do, that is just the light off my laptop lights reflecting. It's not actually melting, just an optical illusion. That, however, spoon that you chose, if you concentrate that heat and energy, and our mind power is truly unlimited. But oh, hang on, it seems to be starting. If you look, that actually looks as though it's starting to get a little bit. Yeah. Wow. I mean, obviously, it could, some might say just an optical illusion, but if we look, it's starting to. Oh, hang on. There we go. It's starting to melt and bend. It's starting to melt more and more.
Wow.
More. And then, oh, damn, it gets too hot and it just.
Wow. I'm mesmerized.
Early as through little.
Hey, my dear friends, 50 years ago,
Catch. Let's ask you on. Ladies and gentlemen, go together.
50 years ago, this show launched my career. 50 years ago, Ben Harris, a magician from Australia, tried to debunk me. 50 years later, he writes this amazing book. Bend it like Geller. This is a tribute to all of you mentalists and magicians. I love you all. Thanks for creating my career. Mwah.
It's been very, very gentle.